What's up, bearded people? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be looking at the new season 6 in Apex. We're also going to be discussing the new update along with some news as well as bug fixes. We're also going to be looking into the new character Rampart. We're going to discuss to see if she's even worth it. We're also going to look at some of her skills. Before we get into the video, I want to go ahead and state this first and say that this video is 100% my opinion, except for the notes, the news, and the updates that the developers have brought out to the public for us to read and to discuss as what we are doing here today. Your opinion might match mine, it might not, who knows, but don't get mad if I say something that doesn't match your opinion. It's just a video, and also it's just a game, so have fun, enjoy yourself. Also, please don't leave the game if you don't get Rampart, because that just ruins the experience for everybody else. So just again, have fun, enjoy the game, and let's get into today's video. First off, I want to talk about the new armor meta. I'm going to try to my best to make these bulletin points and not read this word for word. First off, all the armor in the game now is Evo instead of regular, and except for the gold armor. Gold armor is only 3 slots as shown here. The new damage requirements for each Evo shield is white 50, blue 125, purple 250, and red is 500. And what's interesting is that you spawn with a level 0 Evo shield. So when you get in fights right away, you can level that up to level 1. And then you can take that all the way to the red shield, or you can just pick up a white one and build that one, and vice versa. One cool thing that the developers added in was hollow sprays. This is a way you can taunt your enemies, or you can just warn people like, hey, don't mess with me kind of thing. I think it's pretty cool that the developers are finding ways for players to express themselves and allow them to interact either with friendlies or with enemies. Another cool thing that they added in was a new crafting system. This is a way of getting new loot each week and each day rather than relying on the RNG gods that we all hate so much. At least I know I do, because I have the crappiest luck when it comes to RNG. Essentially, there is a replicator. You'll find 8 different pieces of loot that you can craft if you have enough materials. Some of the loot rotates on a weekly or daily basis, but you'll always be able to see what's currently craftable in the game mode. You can find materials for the replicator around the map in these cylindrical looking tanks. They give you plus 25 materials, and when you open up a box, you normally get plus 5 materials. So there's different ways of getting materials for the replicator so you can build that Evo shield up faster. One downside to the crafting system is that whatever is in the replicator is not going to spawn on the ground. So like, let's say you have a prowler, a purple extended mag, as well as a select fire. You will not find that anywhere in the loot system on the ground for that week or for that day. Alright, let's get into this new gun called the Vault SMG. This is going to be an energy-based weapon. To me, honestly, it replaces the R99 in a whole different way. I believe that it's way overpowered, and it is ridiculous when it comes to close quarters combat. Alright, let's go ahead and talk about the Recon class and what the updates for them are. So all Recon classes, that includes Bloodhound, Crypto, and Pathfinder, they can all use the survey beacons to find the next ring location. And with Crypto, he can get his drone to instantly get this information. Since we are on the topic of Crypto, let's go ahead and discuss the buff and the debuff that he received. Mostly from his surveillance drone, you can activate respawn and survey beacons. Doing so also instantly uses them rather than a prolonged use. They also made the drone slightly more consistent to hit, but on the upside, they also doubled Hack's hit points from 30 HP to 60 HP. They also debuffed Hack's EMP, so the EMP will now slow teammates caught in the blast even if they have no shield. This means that players who have used Revenant's Death Totem will also be slow. When Crypto himself scans, it takes the normal amount of time to scan the location, but when Hack scans, it does it instantly. So I wanted to show you guys a good use of Crypto's ult. We had about 5 teams around us. My teammate is going to come in on the left on the railroad tracks there, and she's going to go ahead and finish them all off since I went ahead and broke all their shields. As you can tell from the upper right, she's going ahead and finishing everyone off. Alright, so let's get into one of my favorite characters, Bloodhound. I believe Bloodhound this season has really stepped up their game, especially with the developers giving Bloodhound a really good buff for Beast of the Hunt and Eye of the Allfather. So with Beast of the Hunt, you can gain more of a duration when you score a knockdown or a kill, and then with Eye of the Allfather, during your ultimate, the scan comes out twice as fast and the cooldown is a lot shorter. I wanted to go ahead and show you guys the difference between the normal scan and the quick scan, and also take note of the difference in cooldown. Let's go ahead and discuss Pathfinder's buff for his passive. So each time Pathfinder scans a survey beacon, the total cooldown of the zip gun is reduced. Zip gun cooldown reduced by 10 seconds each time Pathfinder scans a beacon, up to 6 rings per game. I think this is going to allow Pathfinder to be more useful and make people start using those survey beacons rather than running by them and just leaving them alone. Alright, so we have the recon class down. Let's go ahead and discuss the other legends that possibly got a buff or a debuff. Let's start with Revenant's Death Totem. For 2 seconds after being recalled by the Death Totem, players cannot use Wraith's Dimensional Rift. Thank the Lord. There have been way too many times where you go in for the kill because you know that their health is down, and then Wraith is on the other team and she instantly uses her Dimensional Rift and runs away. You try to chase after them, but then you get third partied or fourth partied, and then you get destroyed. So Octane received a small but useful buff. This is for a stim pack. He can now use his stim while healing, but when he uses healing while stimming, you still occur the slowness effect from healing. So Loba received a black market buff. They lowered her cooldown from 3 minutes to a whole 90 seconds. Looks like Gib got a debuff for his defensive bombardment. They increased his cooldown from 3 minutes to 4.5 minutes. Bang received a decreased cooldown for her Rolling Thunder from 4.5 minutes to 3 minutes. Wraith has received a increased cooldown for her Dimensional Rift from 2.5 minutes to 3.5 minutes. So it looks like Watson got an update to her Interception Pylon, which is the trophy system, her ult. Supposedly it will shoot down Caustic's barrels in flight if they have landed inside the range of the trophy. So I tested this and it seems it does not work, but luckily it still blocks the Nox gas in midair. Alright, let's get into the loot updates. It looks like we got the extended energy mags as well as the turbocharger hop-up back. It looks like for the Peacekeeper they removed the precision choke, but instead they just made a toggle fire on and off. We have the R99 in a supply drop, and what's on the ground loot now, they took out the devotion from the supply drop and now put it on the ground. It's very interesting to see that they're putting the devotion, extended energy mag, and turbocharger back. I wonder what the thing is on that. Looks like they updated the fully kitted weapons. They swapped out the DMR, the Hemlock, the Spitfire, the EVA 8, and the RE45 for the Devotion, Massive, Triple Take, Flatline, and Volt. At the time of this video, I have yet to find a fully kitted weapon. Here's to hoping I actually find one, especially a gold Volt. Looks like we get an increased pickup for sniper ammo from 8 to 12, and it stacks from 16 to 24, but they reduced the amount picked up for energy ammo from 30 to 20. Alright, awesome. Looks like we're getting into the weapon updates. Let's go ahead and start with the Hemlock. It looks like they reduced the vertical recoil in the burst mode. They also slightly reduced the recoil pattern between the second and third shot, so it kicks a little bit less. And then it looks like they changed the time between bursts from 0.32 to 0.28. They changed the charge rifle's ammo per shot to 2, and then increased its mags from 4 to 8. Triple Take received a buff from fire rate from 1.25 to 1.4. They also increased the mag size from 5678 to 6789, so that's not. Oh, they also built the choke into the weapon by default by a toggle select fire. The same thing with the Peacekeeper. The Spitfire received a improved recoil controllability. They also updated the Havoc with a new recoil pattern, and it looks like the Mozambique received a increased clip size from 3 to 4. They also increased the damage for the P2020 from 13 to 15. They decreased the hammer point damage multiplier from 2.7 to 2.35, and they also increased the mag size for the P2020 from 10, 13, 15, 18, 12, 14, 16, 18. Looks like you only need one shield cell to charge if you have a gold shield with the Sentinel instead of a whole battery. They updated the Prowler for a slightly reduced vertical recoil in burst mode, but they increased the horizontal recoil in auto mode. Looks like the developers updated the quality of life in the game, so instead of yellow supply drop weapons, we get the heirloom tier color, which is red, to avoid confusion with the fully kitted guns, which will remain gold. Looks like they also did alterations to the ring to help prevent late zones from centering on unplayable terrain. So that's like, instead of being on top of a mountain, or you get those rings where you're in a tiny little crevice and that's where you have to fight 4 or 5 squad. Looks like World's Edge also received a performance improvement, especially around the tree, the dome, and skyhook, looking towards the center of the map. So that's good that they're still working on the maps rather than just leaving them alone. So of course, with every update, there are bug fixes. So looks like each character got their own little bug fixes here and there with sound, or with jump pads, or with decoys, and all of that kind of stuff. But the one I want to talk about the most is this one. So it looks like the developers fixed an issue with the train killing players when coming out of Wraith's portal on the train. My question is, why would they fix that if they took the train out? So to me, it sounds like they are going to be putting the train back in for a event or something. Alright, with all the bug fixes and all the updates aside, let's go ahead and talk about the new character, Rampart. Ramia Perik, aka Rampart. Apologies if I said that name incorrectly. I swear I googled it like 20 times trying to get it right. If I said it wrong, I apologize. Just let me know how to say it and I'll fix it. Her homeworld is Gaia. She's 21 years old. Rampart owns a mod shop at which got burned down some time ago due to assailants coming into her shop and wreaking havoc. Then she was handed an Apex card by a guy that we all think is Blisk, since he's the one that started the games, and she is trying to rebuild her mod shop through competing in the game. Alright, let's go ahead and see what Rampart has to offer with her skills. So she has a passive called Modded Loader. This will increase Rampart's magazine capacity as well as faster reloads when using all LMGs. That is included with the Spitfire and the Devotion. She also increases the amount of shots before overheating occurs and improves cooling when using the L-Star. Now with Rampart's tactical, it's called Amped Cover. She pretty much builds a wall. One side's blue, which you shoot through and it amps your damage, and the other side is red, which blocks incoming damage. The only downside to Amped Cover is that you have to wait for it to be fully deployed or it will get instantly destroyed. Rampart's ultimate is really just one of a kind. She places a minigun called Sheila. You can only place 3 at a time, but the problem with it is that it has a high ammo capacity, but it has a really long reload time, and anyone can use it. That means your teammates or enemies. It means enemies can come up behind you and use it, or vice versa. I wanted to go ahead and show you guys the difference between regular damage and amped damage when you put your amped cover out. As you can see, there is a whole big difference when it comes to damage. So if you can get that amped cover out before you start using Sheila, I would definitely recommend it because you will shred people left and right with that amped cover. Alright guys, that's going to be it for me for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope it wasn't too boring. I hope it was informative. If you liked it, go ahead and give a thumbs up. Comment down below on what I can do better. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and share it with your friends. I hope you guys had fun, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.